Yeah, my cat
Welcome
may.
back to the show, and now we're joined by special guest Joe Pizzolato. What better way to do it? This is the way it's gonna be. But
Yeah.
he's one of the most talented guitarists I know. Man, I feel as though you have been around some of the best: Kelly Price, Hans Williams, the Shady Recruits, bro. You've done it all. Thank you so much for being on the show, bro.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Super, super stoked that you hit me up.
Absolutely, man. And we have a lot of album reviews to get into. And it started off with Butcher Brown's Solar Music. In their new album, it has a really strong mix of jazz and hip hop. There's various combinations assisted by a plethora of guests, and this was just a high level collection of songs and just sequenced really well. And we mentioned even before recording, Joe, like you brought this group up to me as a recommendation, and ever since you did, I've been hooked on them. I mean, they are so talented. They have such a groovy mix in terms of their music. What did you think about this new album, and just how you felt about it when it came out?
Man, as I was telling you, I think earlier before we kicked it off, I've been following that group for a long time. Early iterations of the band, everything. The new record it's been cool to see the transition from what really, in my eyes, they started as this, I'm not gonna say full on lo-fi, but like it was bedroom produced. It was really organic, and now to see them in this new record where it's still wouldn't classify it as heavily produced, but I mean the mixing, the production is incredible. I think the totality of this record really, I would love to see some mainstream um, playback off this record. Some of those tracks, man. I mean, it's got that four on the floor, that groove, that like
Yes.
I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to hear this on some more radios. I mean, internet, whatever it may be. But man, the record top to bottom is really cool. There's a couple songs that I really just kind of skip over,
Yeah.
and
It
that's
was some
just
filler. It was some filler songs. Me and
it's
Savon
filler.
today. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they're always going to give you the vibe on the instrumental tracks, specifically top to bottom. Yeah, I mean, again, as I was telling you earlier, like as soon as they started giving singles one bit at a time. Uh, what's that one song in there? I Can Say.
Oh
Man,
yes.
dude, that
One of my
that when
favorites.
that came out, when that first, oh man, that was my like airport tune, bro. Like I was just having it on repeat, man. I'm in Atlanta airport, just like, yeah, nobody can tell me anything, bro. Like I got this all figured out. Like the
Yeah.
vibe of that is beautiful. So that set the tone for me with that record. I was just like, man, if this is where they're going with this. But other than that, other than the one or two tracks, like you just said, you nailed it perfectly. They're kind of just fillers, personal opinion. But the whole thing, top to bottom, is still at its core the Butcher Brown that I've always loved, which is great.
What was their last album last year? Was they called it the Triple Trey? Was it Triple Trey Brown?
Yeah,
How
yeah,
how, how would you compare those two? Because I really like that project, so I still go back to that one a lot.
yeah. I did. I think this newest record is a little bit more mainstream and in a healthy way. It's not like they're disappearing from what I've known them as.
Yeah.
Being a listener for so many years. I didn't listen to that record as much, because you had King Butch, and you go like personally, I've listened to all purpose music to the point to where I'm surprised that Apple Music has not contacted me to be like, stop, stop, but
You have an addiction.
yeah, they're like, we're reporting you now. But yeah, I mean, Triple J was still great though. I do
Yeah.
like how it was. I think the predecessor that got them to this new record. Obviously, that
To
kind of
build
comes hand
up.
in hand. But yeah, like the little bit more modernization, like let's write songs that for all I've known for Butcher to Be for so long, and the beauty of them is definitely their mold of hip hop, uh, you know, jazz fusion,
Yeah.
and that has grown into then saying like we just said earlier, I can say to you like that track, like that proved like, okay, you guys are out here writing
Mm.
well-rounded songs,
Songwriting.
Right,
Strong,
yeah.
strong
that
songwriting.
blew my mind, blew my
Yeah.
mind.
Definitely. And Savon, this is like kind of the first time we've reviewed like a band type of album. How did you feel about this project and just the overall feel of it?
Bro, I did not like this. No, I'm
I
joking.
was about to say, all
I'm
I was about to be like, all right.
right, I'm out. First guest
nah,
appearance.
bro. Yo, this made me like, because I'll listen to just like regular jazz or just like guitar, like just saxophone. So them to be able to play this type of funk, jazz, hip hop, combined it, and also put features on it, writing ability. I think the writing could. I don't know if they've done that previous because I've never heard of them beforehand. Wellington puts me on so much music that embroiders my horizon so
Yeah,
many times. So I thought this was really dope. I do think they have a sound and a pocket that's I think it's different. Sorry about that.
oh yeah.
Sponsored by for all the dogs. Freaking
OVO.
dog is chewing on my
OVO
chair.
Sound Radio.
Don't know this guy. He's like, hey.
Yeah, they definitely have a sound, and I think again they have so much potential. I think they haven't even tapped into yet, and I think if they were able to hone their sound, maybe in a studio or somewhere, and to be able to progress, and they could get those radio. I think some of these songs could be radio
They could be
spin
radio
today.
songs. This is
Yeah, I mean
mainstream.
Yeah,
the
for
joint with
sure.
Jay Prince. I mean that
Yeah, move.
that's
Yeah, move right. Yeah, that was dope.
that's like if I may potentially create a new version or a tag, if you will, subgenre we'll call it. Like yeah, that's a vibe club banger.
Hmm.
If like that would be if I walked into a club and they're playing that, I'm like, this is I'm coming here every week. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like on that K Tronada tip. That's on that
Yeah,
a little bit of Flying Lotus, Thundercat. I'm like, yo, it's hip. I think it's so hip.
It gave off major Thundercat vibes. A
Yeah,
lot of
hundred
Thundercat.
percent,
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Any favorite
it's
songs? Any
fair.
favorite particular songs for you guys in this one?
Oh man, that I can say to you, Join is really like that one takes the cake for me. Let's see. Let me double check the over here
I'm a
notes.
big fan of Espionage with Charlie Hunter.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
I like
that's a
The Side of Sunshine.
Turismo is good. I like Turismo. Um, I'll be honest. I'll tell you the one that I don't really like. I think it's I never knew or whatever. It was just kind of like this. Oh, do you know what you're doing? That's another. That's another. I love that track. That's a
Yeah,
great one.
it's a really good one.
But I think it was I never knew, where it was kind of like this. It was definitely kind of like a straight ahead jazz feel type vibe, but there I don't know. It was like some experimentation with the cadence on the MC that I was just like it was too much of. I mean, look, maybe I'm being old school. I mean, I'm all down for an MC to reinvent himself in cadence world. But bro, there was a point where I'm like, nah, man. I mean, you don't really need to take over what an instrument could do in this band setting. It was, which track I'm talking
It's
about? You know which one?
it's a little overpowering.
Yeah, bro. I was
Yeah,
just like, I
yeah,
just skipped that one. I'm like, I ain't, no,
yeah.
not on that one.
That's the
Um,
thing. Like when and Savon, even to you, like, what do you think about when rappers kind of get infused with bands, and like what's the balance that they should have in terms of, hey, like, this is the pocket I should get into. This is when I should let them take over. This is when I should kind of be more assertive.
I mean, it should be just be an added instrument. Like your voice should be added instrument. Let the band be the front runner. You're just there to aid them. And I think a lot of people think it is backwards. The band is not to aid the singer or whatever. No, you're aiding the band. They hear the band first. They hear the instruments first. Before you even open your mouth, you're at an instrument, your voice is. So I think it definitely was overpowering. And I'm like, bro, they should have just had this instrumental. They should never had dude on there. Shut up.
yeah,
Because it was
Yeah,
I liked where they were going with it. It was like Joe, you're right. It was like a straightforward jazz, but I'm I'm a fool for just straightforward jazz, just like
yeah,
like those type of vibes. Like I'm old school. My granddad used to listen to jazz all the time, so like Anywho, but yeah, he should never been on the track. Like you said, he did try to find some nuance of this cadence. Oh,
I
shut
give it
up!
credit. I give it credit, bro. But it's like it
You
was
took away from the track. You took
yeah,
away
it was
from the
a little bit
music.
too much, and especially when they were dropping this album piece by piece, and then I got that, and I was like, it's like,
Yeah,
man, come on, bro, like
Not it.
don't fall short. I was on my knees
yeah.
praying, you know.
we like to say, is it an album song or a single
A single
song? And
song.
that's definitely was an album song. I hope they didn't drop
Yeah.
that as a single.
Did they drop
No,
that as a single?
yep, it's got a
Oh
star next
my
to it.
god. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, bro, that was it.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not a single song.
Trust me,
Yeah,
man.
that was a folly.
Yeah. And I'll get into our next review with the Alchemist Flying High Part 2. This to me, like, this was a very detailed EP and layered. The interludes and blended outros, between tracks added a lot to the overall construction of this, as the Alchemist, also shows his skill set on the mic effortlessly. And me and Savon always talk about how the Alchemist is one of our favorite producers, and he gives so many artists just immaculate production almost every year. And then
Yeah.
I like how he like balanced the MC, his MC style with this type of choice of production. To you, Joe, how did you feel about this EP and kind of the overall feel of it?
Oh man, I mean, it's before I even touched guitar, I wanted, I was a hip hop head. I wanted to produce. So Alchemist, Alchemist is one of those that are there's one of those producers for me that has always been um, in my catalog. You know what I'm saying? In my just listening, like I've got my tier list, and it's not even like nothing else is allowed in there. But point being, Alchemist is definitely part of that top five for me, and he's always been. And his production really carries the torch. Um, with what I love about hip hop. Like, I mean, look, man, I've got about three.
You got a collection.
I got about 3,000 records here, and there's a whole crate of them over there filled too. And I mention that because it's an art form, man. It's an art form to
Yeah.
dig through these things,
Mhm.
and like that's a cat that will fly, overseas to dig through crates in Japan or it could be Australia, it could just be Europe in general, wherever it is, 20, 30 minutes away from the house. Like that record holds on to what I love about, Madlib, Jay Dilla, 14 Karat, like, that
Yes.
classic, like, like him and Madlib truly right now are like the ones that really, hold that. So the
They got the
whole,
top spot.
yeah, bro, like at least in this, in this type of sampling, where your sampling continues the story, and he did it well. And it's cool. It's so dope to hear him start spitting more. You know what I'm saying? Like he's really getting on the mic more, and he's been doing that. He's
Yeah.
been doing that for years. Like,
Yes.
but to kind of get, I mean, like you said earlier, where he's really getting into. He's been dealing with other artists, and like his repertoire right now, with other artists has been spot on, bro, spot on. And then to drop this and then be like, yo, I'm gonna spit, I'm gonna lay it down, and he's been killing it. So that whole, honestly, I have no qualms with any of it. I just loved it, and I love the fact that I got to get them all instrumental tracks too.
That's the cheat code. I was like,
Mhm.
I can enjoy this as instrumental music as well.
Yes.
Yeah, bro.
That's so great. That's so great.
Yeah, man. I think that's such a beautiful thing, to give that to people. Like release a whole record and then give me the instrumentals.
Definitely.
Let me bump those.
And Savon, some of the production on albums has been better than some of the actual music this year. So like to get the production is really awesome.
Yeah.
To use Savon, how did you kind of feel about this project? I know you're obviously a big fan of the Alchemist, and he just continues to show his versatility and skill set.
Top five. Still top five to this day. Top five producer ever, in my opinion. That's just how I feel it. Man's so versatile. And then what I was so pumped on, as soon as I turned it on, I heard his voice. I was like, you better rap. You better
Yeah,
rap,
bro.
bro.
And
You better rap.
yeah,
So when he
He killed.
started rapping, I was like, yes, because a lot of people don't know Alchemist can rap
He's
like
been in the game for so long, bro.
so long,
Yeah.
so long,
He's got
and
bangers that he's that he spit on. Like he's
yes,
So
yes,
yeah,
a lot of people just know him if they don't haven't heard of Alchemist. They know him because of Action Bronson, and I'm like, no, bro,
yeah,
he's been around eons away from Action Bronson, which I rock with Action too, and I'm glad he was on this project because his voice is just an added instrument too. His how he raps, his cadence, just how
yep,
he says words, his jaw, like it's just so much goes into. And then Alchemist is a purist, and I'm all that because I have a collection too. As soon as I seen that, I was like, I'm gonna have to borrow some of them, Joe. I don't have
yeah,
like that. You're that big. I probably like I have 100, and I'll play them every so now. I got Frank Sinatra to
yeah,
for whatever. But I'll try to become a purist because you have that's that original sound of music, ear of music. And I want to be a producer too, but my ears from
yeah.
just rapping and doing other stuff, I don't have the ear for producing anymore. I
And
just don't have it.
it's just those guys. They I've listened to them develop their ears, and I
Yeah.
think that's just really cool.
Yeah.
Like I mean, what was it? First Infantry. '04.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Alchemist, man. Like that had that was his first show of like, yo, I'm out here. I
Yes.
mean, everything he's done with Freddie, with Freddie
Freddie Gibbs.
Gibbs,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Benny Butcher, uh, I'm brain farting. Was it Conway?
Conway the
Yeah. He
Machine.
did something with
All of
Conway. Yeah. Yeah.
Griselda. All of Griselda he's
Yeah.
worked with. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
bro.
dope
But
too. Yeah.
it's like again to see the similarities. Like I'll say this too is like I'm not comparing them. I think they're in the same wheelhouse and similarities, but their ears are different. But like him and Madlib, like Madlib did a similar thing where he was like, okay, I'm gonna start spitting on my stuff, on top of my tracks. But obviously he went in the way of was it Quasimodo, and then he did, he pitched his voice up or whatever, and did it in a different route. But I mean, I think that was point being, Alchemist stepped to the occasion, and I love to see. It's like he's almost been building up what and who he's been working with
Yeah.
to be, and so I cannot wait. I mean, I hope he just keeps going. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Honestly. I would
and
love to
he's
see
not.
a Nas. I would love to see him like produce like a Nas album because I know Nas has been
Oh
working with Hit Boy. I want to see Nas and him finally.
yeah, I would, bro.
Bro, that
Him,
would
I would
be.
love to see. Bro, like him and Joey Badass would be
Bro.
killer.
Yes. Yes.
that
Yes.
Yeah, we love Joe.
that is like. Well, honestly, like low key, one of my favorites, like for real, like but yeah, there's a list. Trust me, there's a list in my head of
Bro,
like
that would be
what Alchemist
crazy.
That
do
would
to
be
this
so
beat,
fire.
That'll probably be the album of the year with Joey
Oh,
Badass
easily.
and
Yeah.
Nas.
Hands
Oh
down.
my
Well,
goodness.
Wellington, I want to know, like, what did you think? Like, what was your, like, initial, like,
I absolutely loved it because to me, like Savon has always said, the fact he can double up the level of production with with him still spitting as well. Because he had a
mhm.
video recently with Hit Boy where like both artists were both producers were rapping. I was like, everybody was praising the Hit Boy version. It was good, but I'm like, yo, the Alchemist is smooth. His flow is so smooth,
Bro,
and it's like I've always wanted to like because back in the day, so we still rap a little, actually a lot
Yeah.
more, but the flow, the importance of a flow and how you can glide on a beat, the Alchemist has just mastered that to me
oh,
because
Yes.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
it's not he's not forcing it. He's not too aggressive. He's not too like low key. Because some rappers like I'll say like a Jack Harlow, he is so too chill on a beat, and I'm like, can you
Yeah.
bring up the intensity like a little?
Yeah.
But the
Yeah,
Alchemist, yeah,
100%. I mean, he does a good job of like, I mean, it's like everything he did with MF Doom, man. It's like
yes,
MF Doom for some is, hey, like that's how dense hip hop can get in terms of, even just lyricism, because somebody like MF Doom, you got to sit there and really listen to it,
Yes.
to
You
get
do.
these
yeah,
puns, to get these double entendres, to get these,
Mm-hmm.
half of a paragraph here and it continues down the road type situation.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I love about him. You could tell it was just nothing but a friend group because he has some of that tonality, and at least in terms of just the writing and the flow of it. It's just like I'm sitting right across from him, and he's telling me this straight to my face. when I feel that on a record, especially a hip hop record,
Yeah.
that's it.
For sure. We're gonna briefly talk about. I know Joe hasn't heard it yet. The Jeezy album. He's not.
Oh Lord.
We
Joe,
can move past it.
I didn't. Okay, I'm gonna just say this in terms of my review of it. It's a played out sound. In
Bro,
04 and 05,
what
in 04 and 05, I mean, yeah, everybody was bumping. But
Come on,
in
bro.
2023, that's just not working. And even a Justice League second half produced album is not going to help you. It didn't save him at all.
I'm sorry, bro. I feel like he just found that hard drive somewhere from some old studio sessions.
Yes.
Spot on.
Bro,
bro.
When you asked me, how honest was I with you, bro?
Oh, you were
when
very
you
honest.
Asked me,
yeah, you said I'm not a fan of Jeezy.
He asked me about it. He mentioned the Jeezy album, and I was like, bro, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't like Jeezy. Like I did glance at the record. Actually, before I told you that, I checked the new record out for a second. I was like, hey, maybe there's something he's doing that I don't know about. I was like, nah, I'm good.
29 songs and no features.
And I gotta hear those horns that I heard for years.
Yes, bro.
Bro, I don't want that.
Same ad libs, the same beat production, the same like, bro, shut up, G.
Bro. Time to hang it up.
The same bars, bro, is so recycled hip hop that form. Yeah, bro, it's over.
And that album cover, I was like, bro, no.
Yeah, man.
Take that album cover back home. That is all. Yeah.
That Neil
made that album cover years ago. Just recycle it. That's what he did.
That Nia Long interview is not gonna help you.
Bro, come on, man. Come on, Jeezy. Like, bro, you were on fire.
You were.
In 2000 between 2003 and 2007. You go to a basketball game. You go to a high school basketball game, bro.
Yeah, bro.
You were if Jeezy was not bumping in there.
Jeezy this, Jeezy that. Yeah, bro.
Even T.I. said he's gonna make a double disc album, and I'm like, it's not gonna hit the same because there was a run where T.I. was like the guy, the top guy, and I feel like certain rappers are still just like trying to like bring that feeling back, that euphoric feeling back, and it's just not gonna hit the same.
I don't want to hear that again.
Yeah.
It's like if Chameleonaire came out with a new record, it's like trying to reinvent it. I'm like, bro, I wouldn't want that.
And that's the thing. My question is, why is Nas being able to sound fresh and new? Like he's obviously an older rapper, but it's like we're not tired of hearing Nas albums. Like
because it's the producers, bro. You got you know it's music is a development that is only has growth on it when you collaborate. In hip hop, I got told, man, like, and shout out to my a dear friend, mentor. His name's Master Ice, man. I grew up in very brief. I lived about in Fort Walton Beach, Florida for about 10 years. And I got introduced to him. He was part of Jazzy 5. He was, and that was one of the pioneers in that early game, right? And I learned so much from him about hip hop and everything. And he said this to me years ago, and it's always stuck with me. He's like, hip hop didn't invent anything. It reinvented everything. So when you think about it like that, bro, it has to reinvent itself. You have to reinvent yourself. If you're an MC, you're still a musician, And so like Nas has never let me down. Like Nas
ever.
So that maybe that was a long explanation or an answer.
Since Illmatic, he's
bro,
been on.
And to, I mean, but see, then again, it goes to the producers. There are producers like Just Blaze is still making hits.
Yes.
Like, bro, I mean, I can trust that Just Blaze is going to be a part of a record, or Alchemist or whoever. Like we just said earlier, bro, Nas and Alchemist together I'd probably just
move mountains.
I'd sit inside all day. Yeah, move mountains, bro. It was All of a sudden, there's a bridge from Alaska to Japan. It's like there's something that's just like, oh my god, we
what is happening?
Yeah, right.
Definitely.
But yeah, I mean, definitely. I think that's why Nas and cats like that, they stand the test of time.
Absolutely. So listeners out there that like the Jeezy album, hey, good for y'all. We're not feeling it.
We love you the same.
We love you the same.
Yeah,
And now get into our next review with Aaron Ray's Phases 3 EP. In this new EP, it's the third installment in the series, which dates back to 2016. And he's mentioned how this project was kind of intended to course correct, and Ray is going back to what he does best, having fun with his art and going off instinct. And I feel as though this was a good mix of songs for an EP. I can tell he's building up to another album. And there's some tracks he's just trying to experiment with. And it's not a fully realized plan yet, but he's kind of getting there. To you, Joe, how did you feel about this EP and what he put out?
Man, first of all, I'm when it comes to production, my ears always perk for the drums, and I thought the drum production was fantastic. It was really cool. It sounded different. I kind of get what you're saying, and it makes sense. Like I could see where certain songs like were tapped into something different.
Yeah,
and then some of them were, just, hey, this is a solid R&B tune. Like, it's modern R&B, it's a vibe. But then there were a few hits that I was like, okay, like this, I would love to see nothing but this, this type of sound. I'm trying to remember, there's definitely the last two tracks on there. Man, let's see what that is. I don't want to misquote anything, but
we do this all the time. We do this all the time where me and Savon pull up the track list and like, hey, which song we like?
Yeah, dude, I'll forget names, bro. Like, I'm one of those people, if I walk up, you introduce me, I will not, I will not remember. So Save It All was dope. Electric was dope. Psychic was quirky. It was cool. But, like, it had its like tequila and stuff like that. That was little vibe holders. But
did you like the Above the Rim freestyle? Did you like the Above the Rim freestyle? That was like I think it was a minute 30. I didn't get the purpose of that. It was like a minute 30 or something. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know why. Like, I mean, look, I think Lucky Day is doing a great job of combining R&B and, hey, I'm gonna spit, but he does it. There's a line. There's a thin line. Where like you can actually drop some bars, but still keep it poetic in the R&B tip.
Candy Drip was a phenomenal album. That's still one of my
bro, absolutely.
Love Candy. Hey, Von hates it. Say, I know you do.
I don't hate it. I got an ally here. He was more. I'm indie style, and I think his sound before he went mainstream was better than. That's just me. A lot of artists who went mainstream music was better before they did so, obviously. So that's why I really wasn't a huge fan of it. But that's neither here nor there. Don't come on, Wellington. Stay on topic, brother.
Yeah.
We'll go down that rabbit hole.
I mean, yeah, man. Overall, that's one of the things. Like, if I'm listening to some modern R&B, the production value. That's like, sometimes I won't even listen to the lyrics or the vocals at all. I'm just like, what's the production doing? And again, like, drum production was sick. Like, some of those songs, like, I like that it had some guitar. Here's the thing though. I like that it has some guitar. Basically, there's a good amount of tracks with guitar on there. But we're in this day and age now. I don't know if that's a real guitar player. I don't know if that is the MIDI patches are getting so real that I'm like, hey, bro, respect the record, but you're putting us out of work.
No, really.
That is true. That is true.
But so yeah, it was a vibe, and like you said, Wellington, I can't wait to see.
I want to see what the album sounds like.
I want to see what the album sounds like.
Yeah, for sure. Savon, to you, how did you feel about this EP? Because like we talk about EPs all the time. Hey, is this a good starting point for an album? Is this one that maybe didn't lead to the right direction? What did you kind of feel about it overall and his direction?
Well, both of you guys said it already. I feel like this was an experiment, and that's what you do with EPs. You kind of like see what's working, what people like, and then for the album, it's more concise. I think this should have been at least like 7, 8 songs, not 11. That freestyle should have never been on this. It's like you said, Joe, it's ways to do it, but I think he was more so like, hey, I started as a rapper. What you guys remember? It was sounded forced a bit. And his flow wasn't good. I mean, it was just weird. I've never seen Aaron Ray rap before, and it was just like threw me off. I'm like, okay. And then I thought he at least should have had 2 features on this. One to kind of like help with the sound or the experimenting that you're doing, so it kind of balanced. Yeah, exactly. and you've done that before. You could have got Kalani again. You
She could have
collab
been
with her
on
all the
this.
time.
She could have been on this.
They have some good records together. Kalani could have been one. I'm pretty sure you could have reached out to I think him and Summer Walker has a good relationship. So he could have, I don't know if he didn't want to or whoever his team was, but I thought two features would have made this even
They
better.
could have elevated it.
Complete. Yeah, and it just like balanced the sound because some of it was chaotic to me. Like you wanted to go this way and then you switch it up midway. It was just like it wasn't a consistency throughout the EP. But that's how I felt like it was an experiment.
Yeah,
because
totally.
Because if you listen to Aaron Ray's albums, it's more concise. It flows a little better. I don't know why I just did the little hand motion and I just did it again.
Oh, hey, it's the only way to
Sponsored by OVO. Sponsored by OVO.
Well, I mean, oh man.
Wellington.
But hey, I mean, look, an EP is a great space and a safe space, for experimentation. You know,
Sure.
like think about it. I mean, we were talking about Lucky Day earlier, not to go off on a tangent, but he started with EPs and then basically added that up and then was like, you know what? I'm gonna just put this all together now. It was like he shaved the fat, kept working with it. And that's the thing. Like that's the thing too artists will do. Like they'll upload something, like let's say an EP, and then they'll keep working on it. And then they'll come back and then just slide those new edits of them, new versions of them, and you don't even know. And that's there's ways to go about it, but the EP, the EP is definitely, I think, a safe space for an artist to still be creative, still have their sound, but to really experiment. And that's up to beauty's in the eye of the beholder. If you want to just decide to rap for, a minute and 30.
Go for it.
Yeah, we definitely would be mad at you about it.
Cool, bro. Like if I see you in the streets, I'm still going to say what's up. You know?
Right, yeah. I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What I was thinking about this. Since we're talking about R&B, what's your R&B Mount Rushmore, Joe? I'm going to go with Marvin Gaye, Teddy Pendergrass, Sade, Whitney Houston. So that's
Sade?
I don't want the Sade. I don't want the Sade disrespect. I don't want the Sade disrespect.
So was that 5? What did you say?
Four. Marvin Gaye, Teddy Pendergrass, Sade, Whitney Houston.
In no particular order. Yeah, I mean, I got to give it to Marvin Gaye. Man, D'Angelo, of course. Yeah. I can't not.
Solid. Solid.
I do. Look, man, I love some Bobby Womack. I love me some Bobby Womack.
Slept on too.
But see, I get conflicted because, like, honestly, like, man, I love Curtis Mayfield so much to where I've listened to him to be like, man, this is like the impressions and stuff like that, like beautiful, like R&B underneath. But anyways, then I'd probably finish it up with, see, again, I don't know if Curtis can make that list, but I would say, dude, either Luther Vandross or what I'm ready for. What do I got here? His record's right here. Oh yeah.
Oh my.
The big perm. I was talking about big perm.
I mean, but see, that always changes for me, man.
It's a tough list.
But yeah, I mean, definitely Marvin Gaye, D'Angelo, and just for right now, Bobby Womack, Luther. I mean, that list just cycles. But Marvin and D'Angelo will always be on that record or on that list.
Who you got, Savon? I know I brought this on spur of the moment, but I'm just.
No, you're good. Luther, don't kill me, guys. Usher. Got to. Luther, Usher. Shoot. I wanted That's Pop. Jeez Louise. Oh, Teddy. Teddy's definitely on there. Man, I listen to Teddy so much. And yeah, the fourth spot is kind of hard. Jeez Louise.
See, man, you said Luther, bro. One of my favorite songs, and I think it's, I in my opinion, somebody walked up on the street, is like, bro, name your favorite love song. Never Too Much. I love that song so much. I love the writing of it because it's like, somebody was like, well, that's not a love song. I was like, bro, how is it not? I was
Never
like,
too much.
it's
What you talking
it's
about?
it's literally. I love how it's like it
How is
puts
that
me
not
in
a love song?
right, bro. It just makes me. It's so vivid to me, and it's so vivid. It makes me feel like I'm watching a movie that he's playing in, waking up, thinking about this woman. But it's yeah,
Yeah.
good call on Luther. Did you
And
come up with a fourth or no?
it's Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder is my
Oh,
first.
You're right. Like I
yeah.
was gonna say Stevie, but I didn't
Stevie,
want to.
man. When you see her on the street, okay. When you see her on the street, Stevie, okay,
Yeah,
Stevie.
Yeah, you
yeah.
can
Nah,
He's
see.
bro.
You
thinking
can
about it.
see.
Yeah, you can't see, bro.
Yeah,
Talk about when I see her on the street.
You let the
What do
cat out
I
the
do?
bag.
yeah, man.
Oh
That's a
man.
that's a good list. That's a good when it comes to hip hop or like blues artists or whatever, like those are kind of solid for me. But the R&B stuff, man, that list will always just
Yeah,
Yeah.
a top five or Mount Rushmore, top three, top four, whatever. That will always
it just
Yeah.
depends on what
I
mood
wanted to
you're
say
in.
R&B. Yeah, yeah. I wanted to do the R&B Mount Rushmore because the rap Mount Rushmore might get us like in a 2-hour
Yeah,
segment. So I'm
we're
like,
not
I'm
gonna
good.
get to
I'm
the
not
rest of the
gonna.
music.
I'm not
I
gonna do
mean,
that.
that's
We'll save
fine
that for
with
the
me
next.
too. That's fine with me too. That Mount Rushmore, it changes, man.
It
Because
changes,
Rakim is
bro.
definitely on my Mount Rushmore.
oh yeah, 100%,
Yeah,
Man,
100%.
for
him,
sure.
his bro. Oh, anywho, go ahead, Wellington, because I could
Anyways,
talk about
gotta move on.
Rakim for hours. Rakim's
But
the goat.
But get into our next review with Benny the Butcher and Lil Wayne's Big Dog single. In this song, it kind of has a reliably hazy beat from Alchemist. Both Benny and Lil Wayne approach the track with serious focus and attention. Wayne to me really kind of just dominated this track. The
Yes, he
verse he
did.
had. I mean,
I
he was the
agree.
standout. Benny had a good verse, but just like how with Johnny P's Caddy, J. Cole sold that song. I feel like Wayne sold this song, and I want to see Wayne put together another elite album because that last what was it? The Fix Before the Six.
Yeah,
It was a mess. It was a mess. So
yeah.
I really want to see what he does for this next album. But to you, Joe, how did you feel about this song? Kind of like what Benny's next album could be like.
Well, I mean, you definitely took some of the words out of my mouth. I mean, um, Lil Wayne,
Goated.
he took it. I mean, and that's funny for me to say because I've always been a fluctuating Lil Wayne fan. I mean, I've never really been a fan, but the beat went the hardest. The beat dominated both of them, I think. Um, it's Alchemist production, bro. I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna love it. It's gonna sound great, feel great. But you know, um, Lil Wayne took the cake. So now, as far as the Butcher stuff, I mean, Benny the Butcher, he's gone up and down for me. Like
Yes.
I don't know where he's at. I don't
Burden
like.
of Proof. Burden of Proof was kind of his pinnacle for me.
Yeah, yeah, and that's cool, man. Like I don't expect anybody to have it figured out, but I do like to, like we were talking about just a minute ago, man. Like, hey, man, try some stuff, experiment, and especially in hip hop, like I was saying earlier. I'm glad that they were on this type of beat. I've truly never heard Lil Wayne on something like that,
Yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, do more of this. Do more of that. But that's me. That's wishful thinking. So.
Definitely was.
But I mean, hey,
I'm not gonna do it.
yeah, I'm gonna have open ears for Benny's album or whenever it may come out. But yeah, we'll see. That's all I can say about it.
Yeah. To you, Savon, how did you feel about this song? And kind of like Joe was saying, we want to see Benny experiment on certain things. He's gonna kind of stay in a certain pocket. How did you feel
Yeah.
about this track overall?
What I expected from him, I got the same similar verses that he always does. It was refreshing to hear Lil Wayne on these type of beats, like Joe said. I think that can he could go into evolution as a rapper to start rapping on these because his album sounded like every other album that we've heard from Lil Wayne, and it really doesn't resonate because it's an old sound. So if you want to still be relevant, like you got to be on these type of tracks or tracks with Just Blaze or just like What on Wando 500. That's a catchy song. That beat was
That's Wayne.
fire. That's the Wayne. You know what I mean? That's what's have longevity. But him being on this track, I really enjoyed it. His verse I thought was strong. I think his features have been stronger than his actual written
That's
verses
the
on his
thing that
own
upsets
songs.
me. Ugh,
It's
Yeah.
weird
bro.
because you would want to say the best for your own stuff, like everybody else's stuff. So it was weird hearing him. Like I thought the verse was strong. I thought Benny verse was strong, but it's just like it's the same things. Recycled thoughts, recycle
Right.
cadence,
But
recycle
can't.
everything.
But don't you think certain rappers may just not have? I mean, I'm not saying that rappers can't grow, but do you think certain rappers just kind of like they've just got a peak to what they can really do unless they just like you say hook up with other productions? I don't know if Benny can really
Absolutely.
get into a different
I,
vibe.
Absolutely, because that's the difference between, in my eyes, an MC and a rapper. If you're an MC, your versatility of finding different ways to say things, cadence,
Mm.
whatever, you're an MC. If you're a rapper, that means you're in this small little pocket. There's no growing out of that
yeah.
pocket unless you evolve to be MC. But go ahead,
Yeah.
Joe.
I mean, yeah, no, I mean, it's like, yeah, you're wrapped up in something, and
Mm.
the MC vibe. You're a linguist, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You are, um, you know, you're dedicated to the pen, you
Yes.
know, it's the same for being a musician. Like, you know, when somebody's like, you know, are you a guitar player or are you a musician? And those are two different things. Those
Mm-hmm.
are two totally different things. Musician definitely implies that there's research and there's an eagerness to learn. So, and we've seen it. Like, I mean, bro, like there's guys that have gotten out after they've done enough, and it's like, bro, beautifully done. Well played game. Like, I mean, we could talk about Jay-Z, who eventually came to the point. It's like, all right, I'm not. He did what he needed to do.
Yeah.
If honestly, like, still occasionally Jay-Z does this. You know, if he's featured on something, for example, like I'm like, okay, I kind of know what I'm going to get from Jay.
Yeah.
You know, I know what I'm going to get, which is cool because I don't hear it that much anymore. But you know, it is very easy to
Ding.
get.
He does.
Yeah,
He
Yeah.
doesn't have
That's
to
a
do.
perfect point.
He didn't overstay his welcome to me. He know
Yeah.
like
That's a
that's
perfect
now
point.
that's
it now it
yeah,
has been 5 years since 444, and I do want Jay Z's one of my favorite rappers ever, so I do want to hear another Jay Z album. But at the same time, I
I
still
don't.
think you don't.
I
No,
mean, well,
neither.
I just, you know, I mean,
It's
I was
that
just
issue.
having.
Like, what is he going to talk about? That issue. What is Jay going to talk about at this point?
Yeah,
In his
bro. I mean, bro, what are you struggling with?
life?
You know,
How to
like, what are
spend
you?
it?
Yeah, right. I mean, now, hey, credit where it's due. You know, like, I mean, bro. Look, I mean, if if I want to go hear some deep cut Jay Z, I'll just go throw on Jay Electronica, you know, and check that whole
Mm,
tip out, you know,
that
which
was a dope. That was a
that's
dope
yeah,
project.
that's a whole extension of like I would love to see. I mean, bro, okay, I would love to see Jay Z and Alchemist. Who even knows what that would sound like?
Yeah, that would
But
be
yeah,
interesting.
you said it best. Whereas like you know, he never overstayed his welcome,
Yeah.
and I think that's a beautiful thing. But to circle back around. Yeah, I think it's like, you know, even when you're talking about Jack Harlow, I mean, to go way left field back into rap, you know, like I don't expect, I don't expect him to, you know, what was it you said earlier? It was just very, it's just, I don't want to say boring, but it was just
Yeah, it's
very,
like so like on his last album, Jackman, the 10th, the one where he has his shirt off in front of the. I don't under that cover art is one of the most confusing.
On the back streets of Kentucky.
same on
This is how I'm
his
coming
face,
back.
like,
This is how I'm coming back. So that 10 song album, he tried to just, hey, I'm just gonna show I can be a rapper. But I'm like, you have that college feel type of hype
Yeah.
music that you should go back to, and you're trying something different, but it's not matching the aggressiveness because you don't sound hungry.
yeah, oh, 100%.
Perfect.
You know,
Perfect.
that's why, like, you know, man, one of my favorites is side note is DJ, you know, Jazzy Jeff, you know, like
Mm.
Oh
he's
yeah.
got some records, man. I forget the MC's name, man, but like bro, he talks about just, you know, sleeping just to wake up so he can get a slice of cheese. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you get to that struggularity that you get on Illmatic. You know what I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
saying? That I mean, rappers go about it, MCs go about it in their own way. Like Eminem had his way left field situation, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I mean, you know, getting back to Nas or I mean, shoot, even like early J Electronica, like I was mentioning, but man, it's it's not it has to have a struggle to it, but I mean, bro, it's a hip hop is a communicative thing, and it
It
can
is.
only be spoken from experience.
Yeah.
And like, bro,
We're reaching the 30. We're reaching the
Reliability.
30. We reached the 30-year anniversary of Wu Tang's Midnight Marauders. Like
Wu
that's
bro,
Tang.
come on, man.
listen. Exactly. You listen to Wu Tang.
like
I mean, these man. Look, I mean, especially when you listen to OBD,
Shimmy,
or
shimmy,
ODB,
shimmy, shimmy.
yeah, bro,
Yo, that is
like
one of
the
the
whole
best
Brooklyn
intros
Zoo record,
ever,
like
bro.
you're not struggling as hard as him, bro.
mm,
Like it's so how to encompass it all. Like, I mean, I would love like two MCs, man, like their tonality. Like I will latch on to an MC for the tonality, and I think that Benny has he has a good tone, a good vibe, but you know, I don't know, man. If you're getting out scored on by Lil Wayne,
at this point in Wayne's career.
like what are you like, Benny? What are you doing?
Hang
I'm
him up.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Hang
Exactly.
him up.
That's true. And now get into our last review with Yebba's Waterfall. I Adore You. This new track includes a natural rendition and it's just sonically opulent. Following her last album, Dawn, in 2021, this is a great teaser for what she has coming up next. And I'm a major a Yebba fan. I really like her the tone in her voice, how she can flow with instrumentals. I feel like ever since like we mentioned, Savon, in Yebba's Heartbreak on Drake's CLB, that's when the world's like, oh, who is Yebba? And now she's been able to just really skyrocket. How did you feel about this track, Joe? And kind of what do you think her next sound can be like on her follow up album?
Oh man, look, I really have just fell in love with her stuff more and more. I mean, especially when she started working with Robert Glasper. That I mean, bro, I've heard her sing James Brown and like screaming, like hit that tone, like I mean, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. I was just like, her range
Had
is
a moment.
so yeah, man, her range is so immaculate. But I mean, that song was beautiful, and that was a good choice, man. I'm glad. I didn't know. Sometimes, man, I'm in my own world, and new releases kind of slip by, and I man, when people just judge you just for that, they're like, you haven't heard it. I'm like,
No,
okay.
a lot of
But
music comes out. A lot of music comes out
yeah,
every
bro,
week.
A
It's
lot of
every
overwhelming.
music. You know how many
minute,
artists there is in the world, man?
I
yeah.
can't do that. Yeah.
But the song overall, man, was just beautiful. Like it's such a it really is like a journey in its own right to
The
sit there and
song
listen
feels like a
to.
journey. The song feels
Yeah,
like a journey,
Yeah.
bro.
it's beautiful, man. And I mean, sometimes a single can be a placeholder just to where they're like, all right, let's get this out so we can get to the record. To at least keep people, give somebody something to chew on before then.
Yeah,
But I was completely satisfied. I was like, man, she killed it again. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear what else she
I want to hear
does.
her
I,
next
I
album.
pray, I pray she does like just just do a James Brown cover, man. Because I will send you the video I'm talking about. I mean, she's in an arena and
I
her
would love to
voice
see that.
carries. She's doing oh, which one is on the Good Foot? I was like,
Sheesh.
bro, I'm having another moment. I'm zoning out. Anyways. Yeah, man, that was great. That was
All
great.
right.
You turned me on to that single, so I appreciate it.
The skeptic over there is looking a little looking a little conflicted. How did you feel about it?
I gotta give it a couple more listens. I'm still trying to put her in a category, and I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, of not who she sounds like, but what direction her music, my ear, can gravitate to. Because for I don't know if that made sense, but for like say Janae Aiko, I know it's gonna be what to expect. I know what ear of ram I'm in to put her in to listen to her music. I don't know what mood or what place I am to listen to Yebba's music, if that makes sense. But she is very talented. I thought this song was good, but I have to replay it a little bit to kind of categorize what moment
Yeah,
of time I can listen to this, because it's not like putting in the car early in the morning. It's not right before
yeah,
you eat lunch. It's like I gotta categorize it to because I feel like I was forced to listen to it, obviously because of the podcast. But I want to put her in a place where I'm in a mood to listen to her. And I don't think I got to that point yet with her music. But she's
yeah.
very freaking talented. I don't know if that made sense. I
No,
just
no,
blacked out.
no. That's a hundred.
I
No, bro.
I hear
I
you.
think you nailed that on the head, man. I mean, it is kind of hard to categorize her, and I don't think it's even worth doing in terms of like it's really
Mhm.
cool how she got started working with uh, Chance the Rapper, and I remember the performance where she was killing it to where live TV he turned around and was like, what? And that's really where her career started to take off. So it's like, think about it. Her career now at this point has been a lot of it has been features or singles or whatever. So like, I think you can't really. Um, how many records does she have? How many records does she have out? Do you guys know? I don't. Does she have a whole
Feature?
record?
She's got
Um,
her last album, Dawn, came out in 2021. That was
Yeah,
about like 13.
21.
I think.
Yeah,
okay.
12 songs.
Yeah.
See,
It's like,
that's where I'm speaking out of an experience. I need to actually listen to that
yeah,
because
if you, I would be interested to see what you think about that. I thought that was a good album.
yeah,
Oh, she had a
uh,
single with me, Smino. That's interesting.
yeah. So I guess my point with that was just like it's fun to hear her. I found her more. Savon, this actually might help you. Like live videos with her and Robert Glasper and her. Like dude, she's using So like when she's singing, she has a table set up
Mhm.
and she's got all these pedals like effects units and stuff. So like she's altering her voice on the fly. It's experimental, man. It's like that new wave of I mean, I don't know how familiar you are with Robert Glasper and like Black Radio and all that, but it's the new era of I know shedding that term jazz is kind of been happening, but I mean it is a new transition of Black American music, formerly known as jazz, but it really is something that I think is wonderful to experiment with, and she does a great job of uh, just capturing every moment I've heard her in. But you're right to put that single on the way to work or in the car. Hey, I'm gonna go run to the grocery store. I'm not bumping that. I'm not bumping that in the Walmart or Publix parking lot. Ain't doing that. Like I'm not gonna go to the bar and, get a beer, chill and be like, yeah, I got a song I want to put on. Just
On the jukebox.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, what did you think about it, Wellington?
I absolutely loved it because I'm a big fan of Yebba. I think she's progressed a lot. Is it a like do we like we say? Is it a single song? It's not a radio place. It's an album. It's an album deep cut. And I think
Yeah.
she just like you said, her live. I watched her Tiny Desk performance. I think she has that
That
live
was
setting.
brilliant.
Yeah, that
That
live
was
setting
brilliant.
feel that she
That was
has. I think
brilliant.
that's where she really shows what she can do. And
Yeah.
like you said, even I can't wait to see what she did with the James Brown a song, but she obviously
Oh,
can
bro.
really impress in a live setting.
I'm gonna send that and I'm gonna sit on my couch for 5 minutes and wait for a phone call because it's what you're gonna do. You're gonna call me and be like, "Oh my god,"
Real quick though, before we close out, I know Joe, we've kept you too long. I'm sorry, man. This has gone on.
Oh, I'm chilling, man.
But the rap album nominations for 2024: Killer Mike's Michael, which means that I'm big fans of.
Yeah.
Travis Scott's Utopia, Metro Boomin's Heroes and Villains, Nas and Hit
Best
Boys,
album.
King Disease 3, and
damn.
Drake and 21's Her Loss.
Why is that on
out of
there?
Hey, we're an OVO sponsored podcast. We can't say anything.
For all the dogs.
I would say it's Killer Mike.
It might.
I think Killer Mike might win.
I just hope it's either Killer Mike or Nas. Boy.
Yeah.
I mean, dude. What was it that year that Alchemist record was on the Grammy nomination?
Was it recent?
No, it was like 2020, and I was like, this is like that was amazing to me, But now hearing that list, I got to be honest, I haven't checked the Grammy stuff. But yeah, out of that whole list, I would want either Killer Mike and or either Nas, Hit Boy. But I got to be honest, I did take a listen to the Killer Mike record, and I found myself just kind of skipping through it. I was just like, this is cool, but I was just like,
it's an acquired taste. Not everybody's the biggest Killer Mike fan. Yeah.
I mean, hey, bro, the production again was killer. It was a vibe. I probably need to give it more of a thorough listen. Like sometimes I'll do that when I put on a record. I'm like, I could be coming from another sound, so I'm like,
Yes, the transition. Yeah, you
I
got to
gotta
be
go back
mindful.
and
Yeah,
like
a lot of people don't
Apple's.
talk about that either.
Yeah, man. I mean, you gotta,
The transition, because if you listen to a one genre of music and you switch to this one, it's not going to be in the same realm of
Yeah,
it.
I was listening to
Listening.
Chris Brown's album yesterday. Then it transitioned to Meek Mill and Rick Ross. I was like, whoa, this is a big.
you're just season up. You're just
I was like,
Right.
what?
From R&B to yelling.
I can't do this. I can't do this at 8 a.m. in the morning.
Meek Mill be yelling on every track now. I'm not a
Yeah.
fan of Meek Mill anymore. I used to be.
I was about to say I used to be a fan of
Dreams and nightmares.
Yeah. It
Don't
was like
scream
he was
so
in a
much.
different pocket. Now he's
Yes.
just, it's
Played out.
just weird. Rick Ross too.
What would be your pick, Savon, for? Would it be the Nas and Hit Boy?
It would probably be none of them. It'd probably be Her Loss and Drake. I'd probably win. I hope not, because that was a terrible album in my opinion. I'm a old purist of Drake's and his new
Joe,
music.
I know
I'm
you
not a
said, Joe, I
fan
know
of
you
it.
told me, we had a conversation about Drake one day, and you said, I just want to hear him rap over Ninth Wonder production. That's the comeback season.
Yeah, so that's what he used to do. And bro, that Ninth Wonder production. I mean,
comeback season was crazy.
Drake in his vibe, bro. It's like
unmatched, bro.
It's bro. Like I said earlier, that too. And this comes from the engineering and producer side of my mind. I'll sit there and pick out the tone. I'm like, this is it, man. Sounds so dope. And bro, Drake has that, but I haven't heard that out of Drake in God knows how long, bro. I mean,
this is probably
What's your favorite Drake album overall?
Oh, that's tough there.
Because I always go between Take Care and Nothing Was the Same. I don't know what yours is, Joe, because that's kind of me and Savon's pick, but I don't know what's your.
Well, why is that your guys' pick? Why do you say that?
I feel as though in that era he matched the emotional and the he knows what his fan base is. When a rapper released an album like Take Care in 2011, everybody was like, "What is this?" Yeah. Like that was a completely different zone and move to actually do. And even So Far Gone, I think he mastered the melodic and hey, I'm still gonna bar you up. That's to me, that's the balance of what Drake is and why he's so different from any other rapper we've ever had.
Yeah, I mean those two records are still, because they're littered with Ninth Wonder beats, and I think he was, man. I mean, hey, kudos to him. I mean, I knew he was changing when he came out there, with Nothing Was the Same or whatever that was, going home, that whole.
And what rapper can make a song like "Hold On, We're Going Home" too? Come on, like what rapper?
I remember
music video was trash. First of all, music video was trash, but the song was actually pretty good.
It was a bump, bro. I remember I was on a gig up in Atlanta when that, literally playing in Atlanta. The album came out at midnight, so we're driving back. And none of us had heard that record, and we put it on. We listened to the whole thing front to back. I was like, Pound Cake. I was like, what am I listening to, bro?
What a time!
Hard. That record. I mean, that record's hard, bro. That is.
Bro,
you hear
those with Tuscan Leather, bro. Tuscan Leather, then Further Sting, and there was so many tracks. Even Worse Behavior, Wu-Tang Forever, bro.
It's yours.
From Time, bro. It was just I think that was his best album, because I think when Drake was in that pocket after he did Thank Me Later, then he went into Take Care. He started a sound that nobody else has done before.
Ever.
Even his singing was different. And it was a different sound. It wore you, because I didn't like Take Care. I was like, bro, what the heck is this?
Like, that's what I'm saying. When it initially came out, people were pushing back on it. Now people consider it a masterpiece.
Bro, and he deserved that Grammy.
Yeah.
That the project from beginning to end, masterful. And then you have Stevie Wonder on the harmonica. Bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Like when I hear Over My Dead Body, I'm instantly transported back to 20.
Oh, you want to be a funny guy? Don't make me make you heart, boy. Like, yeah.
Oh my goodness, man. Joe, it has been an absolute. We've kept you for too long, but it's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Oh man, I'll keep. If we're on hip hop, I'll keep going, man.
It's been so awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, man. Thanks for including me, man. You gotta hit me up again because
Yeah, man.
maybe we can just find one topic and talk about it
Yeah, just
for
one, just
you know.
one.
Yes,
Yeah,
bro.
it was funny. I was just having a conversation with somebody about they got me started on Kanye, and I was like, oh God, here we go. I was like, I didn't. I looked down at my watch. I was like, oof, I'm so sorry. I just talked your ear off for
Yeah,
45 minutes.
You can
You
really,
know,
there's a lot you
yeah,
can talk
but
about there.
no, man, it's been great, man. Your guys' opinions and perspective on these records is really cool. And again, like the Yebba record, I mean, that was great. Like, learning some new stuff and um, already had the Butcher Brown record
oh
down, and
yes,
but yeah, thanks, man. Thank you so much. Can't wait to do it again for real.
absolutely. We're gonna take a quick break and be right back with our Candyman review.